probably, I thought, one of the more exciting games of the year, probably for all the wrong reasons, but who cares? Vibes, man. They care.
All of them care.
Yeah.
No, every game counts, right? All the points matter for the Leafs. So, like, the fact they only got one out of that, they got swept in the season series. If you go look at the Leafs shootout record, it's 1-2. The Sharks are the 2. They're the entire 2. The Leafs have sole possession of first in the Atlantic, but the Panthers have a game in hand. And tonight, Bruins guy in the stand is Marchand's first game as a Panther.
Wow.
So costly loss. Costly loss.
Yeah.
The Sharks don't have any bad skaters. Holy cow. They really skate you through the foundation of the building, which I'm sure is expensive for the Sharks to maintain. But the Leafs, if you have tired legs, the Sharks are a very not fun team to play.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare.
In a season like the Sharks are having, where you're in last place and like you're rebuilding and all that, every small victory you get means something. And in the game last night, you obviously give up the lead late a couple times. You don't want to do that, but they were able to close it out and get the 2 points.
Right.
And I feel like earlier in the season, maybe they lose that game outright. Leafs come back, they score 6, and then the Sharks lose 6-5 in regulation. But the fact that they were able to get the 2 points probably means a lot to those kids and this organization. Is like, hey, we closed it out, even though we usually blow it. We did that this time. That's a small victory, which is a big victory in the grand scheme of things.
I couldn't agree more, and it seemed to be led by, hold for applause, Tyler Toffoli. Yeah! who was an animal, an absolute animal last night from the go. Like he was spectacular. Seems to have taken over an emotional leader perspective here. Like, you know, I know he's relatively new, but boy, and I know Logan Couture is the captain and he's not playing right now, but if there's a captain on the ice, it sure feels like Tyler Toffoli's at least one of them with Mario Ferraro.
You can't have one leader, right? You recently spoke to Serge Savard, and I got the opportunity to speak to him at the 2010 Olympics, and he talked about those Montreal Canadian teams and how they had like 14 captains, right? So you're going to need guys who have been here to step up. You're going to need guys like Tyler Toffoli, guys like Mario Ferraro, and Celebrini, Eklund, Smith, etc. They're all going to lead in their own way, but Toffoli's been there guy role is super important for a team like this.
It was kind of, I mean, it was, as a Leaf fan, I'm not going to lie, it was painful to watch, but it was exciting because when he got that first goal, that pump, like, let's go. There was like a real, like, I want this bad.
Well, you know what my least favorite part of that goal is we were like right on camera. So we were sitting fourth row, right? People were tweeting us photos of us just looking very melancholy. Just like this. Not having it. Not having it.
Also mentioning our big fat heads too.
That too.
A couple of fat heads,
3
right?
fat heads.
And then of course, as the period goes on, you notice you guys brought up the skating. The Sharks skated the Leafs into the ground last night.
Well, we need to talk about your new crush.
Oh. Okay. Well, talk about him.
Colin Graf, baby.
Oh, baby.
Me talk about him.
I love him. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe. So shorthanded goal like that was spectacular, but it wasn't just the goal. It's smart plays. His body's always in the right position. If there's a fight for the puck, he's on the right side of it, wherever he needs to be. It's little things, good habits. I was blown away by him.
Well, and it was clear to me that all his skill comes from his time developing with the Barracuda. Right? Right? Well, and I mean, like, how many contending teams are going to have a guy with that little experience killing penalties in a position to score a shorthanded goal?
Yep.
Right? There's a lot of guys who are going to be it's sink or swim. Right? Not to make that analogy in the tank or anything.
Well, why not?
But yeah, why not? It is exactly the place to do it.
Nose.
It's a little on the snout.
On the fin.
Do sharks have a nose or a snout?
I think it's a snout, wouldn't it be? It's a snout.
The Sharks fans should let us
It's
know.
a little on the front of the shark.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whatever
On the
it is.
pointy end.
Yeah, no, he incredible skater, confident shot, and it's what we've been saying about the Sharks since we got here, since before we got here. He scores the goal. We're not feeling great about it, whatever. Then they show him on the bench on the Jumbotron, and he's like, like there's a giddy, childlike energy to this team, and that'll get you through a lot of tough days and tough road trips.
It's and then of course the Leafs do score, and it's William Nylander. Oh, we're getting boos.
Oh, what?
We're getting boos. I suppose that's fair.
No.
It is that, weirdly enough, for Leaf fans, it's William Nylander's first back-to-back multi-goal game of his entire career.
No, yep. The first time he's ever had multi-goal games in back-to-back games, which
is what I said.
In a different way.
Yeah.
I said it better. Who said it better?
Oh. Big Adam Wylde fan right here.
Thank you, brother.
Unreal.
Appreciate that.
But that stat, when I read it, it didn't seem real.
No, especially
How is that
8-9
possible?
years in.
Yeah. No, it didn't seem real.
And then, like we said, Colin Graf scored later in the period. And the thing is, okay, you go, okay, well, they're going to as a Leaf fan, they're going to the dressing room, and it's, okay, they're down 2-1. Listen, they'll come out strong in the second period. And Alex Wenberg said, no, you won't. Scores within 2 minutes of the start of the period.
Minute 39 in.
I love the round of applause. The people are like standing up and applauding.
They know they're going to have a bigger cheer in a few minutes.
Yeah. Matthews scores on a power play goal.
Boo. Yeah, a lot of boos.
Oh, no, we got the one guy in the back. We got a Matthews fan up there. And then William Eklund, who we had on the show earlier this week. Let's talk about this. Unassisted deflected shot is how the NHL calls it.
Oh, I thought it was very assisted.
What led to the deflected shot?
If you're a goaltender, tend the goal! Everyone knows the rule.
Right.
Just hire me as a goalie coach if that's the only thing I tell you.
Yeah.
Just listen, and I think you'll be okay. Like, you're flexible. You know the position. You know where the net is.
Right.
All right, so stand in front of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you got the basics, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal!
That's crazy.
There's an if you're a goaltender, tend the goal sign.
I love that. Well
In
done.
the crowd.
Well done. Show the crowd. Stand up, show the crowd, guys. Yeah. That's awesome. That's so great.
Here, show me.
Here, we're gonna take a picture.
There you go.
There we go. I love that. Yeah, you know, it's
Drew put that in the podcast.
it was one of those things where if it felt like all Joseph Woll has to do is there's
Anything else?
two routes that would be the correct route. Throw it behind the net.
Yep.
Right, which is kind of dangerous, right? You could always throw it into your own net. We've seen that.
Yep.
Or you could just cover it up. But he took the third option. And it seemed like you give it right to Eklund, which is a bad idea. And I think what's interesting about last night from a Leafs perspective is that they seemed to make a lot of bad calls. There were sloppy passes. Joseph Woll didn't seem right. It seemed like there was something a little bit off.
And the Leafs have an additional goaltender at practice in LA today, which is not typical on the road and has this Leaf fan rather nervous. Not why.
What is it, Jess?
I have a hard time understanding what Joseph Woll was going for because Eklund was right in front of him.
Yeah,
Like they were
There's
looking
so
at each
much-
other in the eye.
Jesse's got the screenshot up, and now I'm more mad.
Right?
Like,
You watch it back and slowly you lose understanding about what he was going for.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know, brain farts
espionage.
like that.
That's
Brain farts like that are unacceptable in the playoffs. Like, okay, get this out during the regular season against the Sharks, but in the playoffs, you can't be doing
Well, and I want to give full credit to Eklund for checking that much when it looked like the puck was just going to go by him. But that was part of the thing about these Sharks is they skate. The fact that he's in position for that he hasn't peeled off to go for a change or something else, I think says something.
well, and veteran Chris Tanev has his stick like, well, it's coming over here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've done this a few hundred times. I'm sure it'll. And now it's in the back of your net. No, Eklund. I think the reason he got that goal is because he was on our show.
Yes.
Is that what
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the interview, by the way? How great is that guy? He's awesome, right?
Yeah.
What a
yeah,
beauty.
FIFA.
Yeah.
Now, who thinks they've played him in Fortnite at some point? Yeah, you think you've
Oh,
gone
we
head-to-head?
got a hand.
Yeah, you definitely have. Was he any good? Yeah?
He's good.
All right, that's kind of sick. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they must have like hidden names or something like that. But that is, I'd love to see what they're like in FIFA too. They should
You're
be
playing
seeing
them
that.
the day before an important game, and you just beat the hell out of him, hope to make him mad. He gets a hat trick, rile him up, and then you can be like, I did that.
Before the end of the second period, don't boo this one because he really needed it. Scott Laughton scored for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
There you go.
And he's had a rough go since coming here. And he's a glue guy, and he's one of the guys that, and we'll talk about this later, John Tortorella said, that was a real big miss from the dressing room as soon as he was traded.
Is that the only other thing John Tortorella said?
Yeah, what
this
else
week,
did
or-
Tort say?
He said some other things. But
Did he say, I don't want a job anymore?
he did say
He
that.
did say
No.
Really?
I'm not interested in a job anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess with Laughton scoring, and Jesse just randomly happened to be recording it, and it happened just over here. And
Yeah, the
so
Laughton
we
goal.
got a really great view of Scott Laughton's first goal as a Leaf. Nice shot. It goes in. I don't really care about breaking down the play. I want to know emotionally, what does that mean for a guy who's coming back to play for his hometown team, who has been frustrated and not really found a spot?
No. That's not what's important here.
Oh.
Jesse, what do you think?
Why?
You think he was looking at us?
No, I don't.
Yes, you did. You said it multiple times.
Adam said that.
I said
Adam
it.
Oh, you said it?
But that hadn't happened yet.
Well, I confuse you
That
two all the
hadn't
time.
happened. That's coming next.
No, that happened.
It happened later.
It happened later?
It happened later.
I'm misremembering?
You're misremembering.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll tell you what happened. No, that's a story for like 2 minutes from now.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about the emotional thing for Laughton.
He badly needed it. He's been with the Flyers organization his whole career. I know he's been through a lot personally this year. And every team who has a fan base that is maybe cranky about not winning the cup since 2 years before the moon landing needs someone to be mad at some of the time.
There's no sympathy in this crowd. I just want
I
you
get
to know
it.
that.
Yeah.
I get
They
it.
don't have one at all.
The Leafs still have a longer drought than the Sharks, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our cups are weird.
Our cup,
They're 16.
they're so old, the photos look AI generated.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there are more teams in your division than there were in the entire NHL the last time the Leafs won. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and
We're in the same boat, is all we're trying to say.
Also, you
So
guys
we're
have
friends
had,
here.
You guys have had a third round victory. We never have
No.
in the
Yeah.
modern era. It's never the Leafs. have
This
never
this
been.
building had a Stanley Cup final game.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, what's that like?
the building the Leafs play in hasn't.
Who was there, by the way? Who was at the Stanley Cup at some point?
quite a few.
Pretty special, huh? We saw one Stanley Cup game in Nashville the year before the Sharks made it. I think.
I've seen two Stanley Cup
You're
final
after, you're
games.
after.
Two Stanley Cup final games. Neither were in the place where I live. I had to take a flight,
Yeah.
and I hope to. Anyway, Scott Laughton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Laughton goal.
So okay.
He's been through a lot, and the fan base, the claws have been out
Yes.
a little bit. The daggers have been out for him, and it's not even like he's played particularly poorly. I mean, the team gave up a lot for him. So it was a big goal for him to get, and his line mates helped him out by essentially not playing for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But on Laughton's goal, like he gets it because he makes a play down on the goal line.
Yep.
And then he passes the puck, and then he's at the blue line for a slap shot. That's the hard work that Philly kept talking about that they miss, and that's what Toronto thought that they were getting in his first goal. That all of that's displayed. So you hope that he's put in more positions where he can do that and execute.
Haven't seen a ton of blue line clap bomb goals from forwards that weren't scored by Matthews or Willie.
Yeah.
Right.
A forward who was also just at the goal line.
Just there. No.
Seconds ago. It was a great play.
Great play.
Yeah.
Yep. And right after that, Max Domi gets into it.
And-
Yeah, well, you can boo him.
what did the Sharks fans think of that?
You should be cheering.
Do they know they're wrong?
Yeah. I don't think they know they're wrong yet. Why don't you tell them?
He went to the box for like no good reason, and then I'm pretty sure that led to, was that the power play goal against from Toffoli?
Yes, at the beginning of the.
Yeah. Oh, there. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
wait.
you like that? Yeah.
Oh no, this was good.
And also the misconduct, right? It was a 10-minute misconduct. that
10-minute misconduct
Turned
and
into
then
forever.
I guess there basically wasn't a whistle in the back half of the third period.
Yeah.
That dude saunters out of the box like.
There was a minute 10 remaining, but by the time Max Domi got back out again. And this is where, when you guys are booing it, it's like, I get that you're booing the player, but you should be cheering the play. Because, we were talking, actually, we ran into, can we say this? Can we run into Well, I guess maybe not.
Sure, no, go for it.
Yeah, okay, we ran into Jamal Mayers outside.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And
we ran into a few people.
And he was great because we said, what would you do in that situation? And he said, what you do is you back up and let him come to you or sort of try to laugh it off.
Well, and try to...
Because he got it. There was a bit of a cheap shot.
Try to embarrass him in front of the home crowd. Like, look, you won't go me.
Yeah.
Right?
But instead, the refs got in there and Max said, I'm gonna,
But like... very half measured.
Yes.
I thought. Like, if you're going to send a statement, send it in all caps, and he just sort of gave him a paw. I disapprove of that sort of thing, man. And he ended up sitting for like 20 minutes as a result of an NHL. There you go.
Now they're cheering.
Yeah.
But
that Domi stuff is the same stuff that Kadri would do. It's the same stuff that Bunting would do, that the refs aren't giving them any leeway, and it's going to get the Leafs in trouble.
Yeah.
Because like the refs don't give the Leafs breaks. And if Domi's going to completely disrespect the ref where he's trying to hold them back and tell him, hey, you can't get into this fight right now. And Domi's like, no, I'm going to punch him in the face. I'm going to punch Zach in the face. Like, it's not going to go well for the Leafs.
No Sharks fan is going to want to hear this part. But there was a time early in the game where the Leafs were up 3-0 in the power play advantage. And then the first penalty the Leafs took, Adam's like, really? And I go, I've been saying for 5 or 10 minutes, it's 3-0.
Penalties.
And boy, did they even that out. Attaboy, Max.
So in between all that, they go, you have the second intermission. Leafs come back out, and this is where the Laughton story comes in, okay? Now, you have to believe me when I tell you this.
You do not.
Which is a great way to start a story when you're trying to convince somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Laughton was like, we made eye contact.
You and Laughton.
Yes.
You think he was tapping the glass?
Well, so he comes out to skate, right? Before this thing, and he taps the glass, and it's that pane over there just above the Coca-Cola sign. Okay? And he looks, he taps, and then he skates around again, and he taps it again, and looks right in our direction.
Can I ask you two questions?
Okay.
Does Scott Laughton know you?
Maybe he does. And this is what's been carrying me for the last 24 hours. My whole confidence is based on this. I want you to know that. I was like, maybe he watches LFR.
No.
I hope he doesn't.
No,
Sincerely.
you, Adam.
Well,
He
or
looked
maybe watches
you in
us.
the face.
But we were all there, so it could have been like me or Steve or you. Like it would, like we're not that far away.
You made eye contact with
because
him.
I was looking back at him and you guys weren't.
So this is exactly...
So that I was the only one that got it.
This is the way the conversation went. Yeah, I was like tweeting or something.
Same.
We were like, Adam, you're stupid. And then the next time there was a Leafs zone draw and Laughton's out there. I swear to God, he looked me dead in the eyes.
Yeah, maybe because you were creeping him out.
There's like 15,000 people here.
You spent all game. Yeah, but you're right at the glass. You spent all game trying to make eye contact.
No, but then he also mouthed, "Hello, Steven." He said it to me. "Hello, Steven."
I think he's like, who are these creepy dudes in the audience trying to make eye
I
contact
felt
with
like
me?
we were perfectly normal. All right? And we're having a perfectly normal discussion. Don't mention it, please, to anyone else. Yeah. This is totally normal. Now, Toffoli scores on the Max Domi, or sorry. So Robertson was...
He took another bad one.
Yeah, so Robertson was serving the Max Domi penalty, comes out, trips Toffoli, I think, and then goes right back to the box. And then Toffoli scores about 9 seconds onto that power play. 3:02.
Tofovechkin?
Yeah,
that's,
maybe.
That's what he looked like. That was a very good one.
Bad.
Did anybody like that?
You can boo that.
Here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Please let me know what you thought of that.
Some boo.
Please let me know what you thought of that.
I wanted louder boos.
Now, if we had a highlight in this game, it was the last minute. The first 59 were...
Who?
Do we all agree?
The first 59 were really frustrating, but that last minute, that was cool.
Yeah.
The Leafs go in, down 2 goals, pull the goal, and I'm just going to give it you. I don't expect you guys to know this. They've been awful at 6-on-5 this year.
Yes.
Awful.
Couldn't tell.
We're
playing defense at 6-on-5, so it balances.
So it balances out. Okay, well, that's great. So John Tavares scores at 19:01. And at 19:46, so that's 14 seconds left. I hope my math is right. William Nylander puts one home, and he gets his second goal of the game. He is second in league scoring. He has 7 goals behind the injured Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
So the
You guys
Rocket
aren't listening
Richard
to me.
is still
I
up
think
for
you can
grabs.
catch him.
Well, who would you? Okay, let me ask the Sharks fans. Who do you want to win the Rocket Richard? Is it an Edmonton Oiler? Yeah, yuck, right?
This guy just threw up.
A Toronto Maple Leaf.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's crazy. They hate both.
Yeah.
They're
No,
not
they
like,
don't
oh yeah,
care,
we have
yeah.
an East team and a West team. They're like, no, down with that sort of thing. Go Sharks.
Yes.
The future is teal.
That's right. Now, obviously, we get into overtime. Really exciting, back and forth. You guys love the overtime, right? It was just awesome. Just
Yeah,
really,
it was great.
really, both teams put on a good show. And I love every time the Leafs even dared to stop and catch their breath or look and try to make a play. You guys are like, boo! Stop ragging it, boo!
Let's go! Oh no! That's the ideal overtime when you feel
And-
complete euphoria and dread.
Austin did put one off the post.
Yeah.
Real close,
Sure did.
Real close. But the post is not a goal. And so it goes to shootout. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this is bad. Because the one thing about this generation of young hockey players is they all grew up watching highlights on YouTube.
Oh, dude,
Pavel
it's,
Barber,
Yes.
all them. Yeah.
it's the grumpy, underachieving Leafs against a bunch of iPad kids, and and the iPad kids killed them.
Yeah.
It was first off that Will Smith goal. Oh baby, how crazy was that? Wow.
I thought
I'm like, oh, he overskated it, and he somehow snuck it in.
Wool had that for sure. No, there was about this much net left to tuck that into, and he did it perfectly.
He did
It's
it.
perfect.
Now William Nylander responds. That's
Yep.
great. That's great. We like that. No, nobody's gonna cheer that. Okay, I'm not even gonna ask. Not
Get
even
to
gonna
the good part.
Yeah. And then you hear the announcer say, I didn't even hear what he said leading up to it. All he said was Macklin Celebrini. It was an explosion of noise. And I thought in that moment, like, I don't know what as an athlete you feel, but every eye in the building, you knew it was on him. And he's like, and you knew it didn't faze him. He's like, I'm just going to go do it.
I'll tell you what I thought. This kid might score. And then he did. And it was pretty good.
And then the Leafs, Marner and Matthews, just not great
Nope.
shootout plays. And
Well-
it's over.
Matthews, I think, got a shot off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marner sort of booted it. Actually, right here. Right here into this corner, I think. Or was it the other
other
end?
corner. The other guy, yeah.
Pretend
Other
it was
side,
here. It was right here.
So from a visiting perspective, like people who have never been to your building before, and by the way, you guys have been so great and gracious and amazing, noticed how incredible the crowd is. It is
Yep.
loud all the time. And that's something that in Toronto is a real problem. I'm sure you guys know.
Yep.
And I've alluded to that. The amount of confidence the Sharks carry is really interesting. And Jesse, you talked about that. Kind of one of those games where it's another brick in the wall of we're coming in the NHL, better watch out.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that stems from how much fun you guys are having, because when a power play happens for your team and the guy goes to the box,
I love that.
and you guys do that shark crunch thing, I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Why don't we have anything like
Bobby
that?
McMahon's sitting in the box
And he's
the
getting
mouth is
eaten by
eating
your
him.
hands.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
And this was something I noticed last night, and I want to see if you guys know it. Hit somebody.
you guys have chance, like soccer. Like Nashville, I know has
Yeah,
that too,
Tampa
but
has
it's,
them too.
it's rare in NHL rinks, and you guys just have such a fun atmosphere. And the players, like, they have to feed off of that. You know,
Yes.
young guys like Celebrini who can't even drink in Canada because he's 18, right? And aren't drinking
Can't
here.
even drink in Canada.
Forget
Like,
drinking here.
Yeah, here's 21. Like,
Yeah.
he's well away from
No,
that.
can't drink in Ontario. Alberta and
Oh.
Quebec don't care.
Yeah, Quebec's like you're 16. Let's get you a beer.
yeah. Here's a
but,
cigarette.
like,
Yeah.
young guys like that, you come here and you play, and it's such a great atmosphere, and they must feed off of that. In moments where it's a shootout, it's like, I'm going to show this crowd, I'm going to give them what they came for. I'm going to bring out my best dangles and win this game. Like, it's really cool what you guys got here.